Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Cash Revive, your weekly top 5 video game podcast and more. I'm your host, Matt Harmrow, and here with my personal motivational speaker, Mr. Brian Husky.
You're supposed to introduce the guests first.
No, we're doing things differently, okay? Comet, jeez.
Hi.
And we are live here at Factor Studio. We were brought in by our lovely friends from For Geek's Sake. We have the future queen of Dr. Mario, Danielle.
Hello, everyone.
And I was trying to think of something really cool to say for you, but,
really not.
But you play Ryu, so I'm just going to introduce you as Al.
Can I tell you something? So the music started to come down a little bit, and you leaned forward. I also leaned forward to start speaking. I was like, ladies and gentlemen, oh no, this isn't my show. This isn't mine.
Well, it's funny because I thought we called this the rehearsal thing, so
No, that was already
yeah.
done.
I was like sitting here ready to stop laughing, and then you started talking, and I'm like, crap.
This episode's going to be great.
I can. As you can tell, you've got some consummate professionals.
Yeah, we've only been doing this for like forever, but we're
completely
terrible at it.
We're using their equipment.
So Al and Danielle are from the podcast For Geek's Sake. So before we jump into our gaming stuff, why don't you guys kind of tell us about For Geek's Sake, what you're about, and why we love you guys.
So for Geek's Sake, we just talk about everything, all things geek, which right now, thankfully, there's a lot of geek out there. We talk about everything from sciencey, spacey stuff to entertainment, comic books, movies, you name it. If it's geeky, we talk about it.
We got to at least cover the pop culture stuff. We've got guys like you guys that do video games and know everything there is to know about video games. We're much more of like we're going to cover a little bit of everything.
Yeah, because we're not experts. We just know a lot about a little about a lot.
That's my co-host.
Well, it's great to listen to you guys because you guys have that really good back and forth dynamic that it's really.
Is that what we have?
It's hilarious. I mean, it really is because I've checked out like a lot of podcasts and it's just like, all right, this week we're going to talk about this. But you guys really you can tell you're really passionate about what you're talking about. It definitely comes through over the air. So
we actually believe in passion over knowledge.
It's really kind of it's actually in our personal lives. That's Al and my MO. Like
it
that
really
is how we operate in
this
life.
Is really if this episode is garbage. This is Benoit, the producer Dan's fault.
Yeah, because he was supposed to be here today with us.
He's supposed to be the one who keeps us grounded.
Right. So I do get a lot of questions of like how Al and I met because obviously we're on the podcast together.
No one cares.
But like we've known each other for so long, it just doesn't even matter. Like
right.
we just kick each other in the balls every day.
Nice.
So.
Which is weird, but I mean it's a weird tradition. But we've been doing it for so
good
long.
to see you. Come here.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why sometimes it's really awkward too because I've got shit to do that day. I'm going to drive all the way over to her. She never drives to me. I think once I've kicked her the balls, and then I try to kick her in the balls, and I haven't kicked her there yet.
I'm going to find it one of these days. I tell you.
You know.
Oh my god.
So we're continuing our Freedom Month, and this is our third week.
Yes.
And
Sorry.
we are.
It's good. It's a Braveheart.
He gets excited.
So this week we're doing free-to-play games, freemium games, stuff that you can play without having to invest any kind of money into it. And we're going to be talking about Pokemon Go later on, but this intro track was actually it's not the battle music, is it the capture
It's like
music?
I
mean, what is this considered?
Yeah, like you
in
find
Pokemon?
one of them and then you throw balls at it.
Yeah, but I mean that's not considered like a battle, right? You're literally just like it's called the
they're calling it
kidnapping music.
The battle music.
Kidnapping
That's
music.
essentially what you're doing.
And by the way, I don't know if they're officially called Pokeballs, but I totally call them Pokeballs.
They are
They are called
officially
Pokeballs, yeah.
Pokeballs.
Okay. Just making sure.
My co-host, ladies and gentlemen.
So before we jump into the top 5, we're going to start it with a little bit of news, talking about the recent addition of the new character in Overwatch. That was announced. I saw the trailer for that, which is awesome. She's a healing sniper. Anna, is that her name? We know
A-N-A.
we called her Sombra
Anna.
for so long because that was what her code name was, right? Sombra.
I guess I still don't know because they're introducing her as both Sombra and Anna Amaria, which is Farah's
Mother
surname. Amaria.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe Farah's mama.
So she looks interesting. She's a healing sniper, and I don't really know how those two are going to really work out. But
I love that idea.
I mean, I think it sounds really good, but effectively. I'm waiting to see, but she has other she has like a sleep dart. It looks like where she puts someone to sleep. She has. It looks like her main ability is like a damage buff. I saw her buff Reinhardt, and he was just seriously wrecking face with his hammer. So maybe it's going to work out, but. Who knows? I know some people get really nuts with their sniping, so I'm sure there's going to be someone who's really legit with how this works out.
When I'm the healer, I like to be like right on your back, like a little koala.
Yeah.
So I don't know if heal sniping's going to work out for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your healer of choice is Zenyatta, right?
Zenyatta.
Yeah. I mean, Brian's really
Really?
Good.
Yeah. Oh, I love.
He's
Zenyatta.
really good with Zenyatta, like really good.
I cannot. I'm not. Zenyatta's the one support character that I just haven't played.
You just have to juggle your balls.
Yep. It's all about ball juggling.
See, I mean, maybe that's my problem.
I have a lot of balls in Pokemon, if anyone was wondering.
No, well, my balls are all
Similar
giant, made of
concept.
brass. So I think maybe they're just a little harder for juggling.
So yeah. I mean, it's a very different style of sniper. Mercy being the main like direct healer. I was expecting we were gonna have like another one, but it looks like she's gonna be more of. Well, no, I guess there's really nobody really like her. I guess you can compare her to a Zenyatta in a way. She's going to be doing damage and healing. So
I've never even heard of a heal sniper. That's just completely and totally new to me.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of like an oxymoron also?
It is, because snipers
Like-
are typically because the guy
Assassins.
who plays
Right,
well, the guys
like
who play
killing
snipers,
people.
Yeah, the guys who play snipers are usually the really angry, like swearing at they just kind of sit back and they take some patience. They're not usually
Like Deadshot.
Yeah, it's such a weird mix for me. I'm horrible at sniper characters too. So I'm
Yeah,
not
me
good.
too.
I love support characters. I don't think I'm gonna be able to play her
Because
very well
it's
at all.
a skillful healer, right?
yeah.
It's not just like turn on the heals.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is that because the video they showed, she was on Temple of Anubis, and she was in the beginning on top of that huge little walkway pillar.
Huge
but,
little.
But yeah, that was said huge little. real good, Matt. But they didn't show any kind of way to get up there. So they said that from what Overwatch responded. Was
I
that
like the soundtrack, by the way.
Yeah, what is that? What do you got going?
League of
on?
Legends.
League of Legends.
That
Oh,
is
right.
really cool.
Yeah, League of Legends. League of Legends got some. Even though, I'll talk about League of Legends when we get to it. But there was no way it looked like to have any grapple or any way to get on top. But
Right.
what I read was that you're gonna find interesting ways to get up there. So people were thinking they're going to be adding some new kind of mechanics in order to ways to get up, because they said you can't get boosted by Junkrat because that's only his, and May's ice wall isn't high enough,
isn't high
and she
enough.
doesn't have a grapple like Widowmaker. So how does she get up there? Even Hanzo can't get, and he can wall climb. So what are they gonna? So interested to see what they're gonna add, if they're gonna add other mechanics alongside this character. So it's gonna be kind of cool.
Now, I have to stop you here because I listen to your podcast
Thank
every
you.
week. And you know a lot about so many. How do you keep all of these games straight? Like,
I'm a loser.
I just
That's not fair.
but you just
There's more to it than that.
you know both of you know a lot about all of these games, and like I don't even know how you know it all. I don't even know their names.
We put a lot of time into I've played a lot. Whereas people spent their time on I never did comics. I didn't really follow sports growing up, even though I played some. But my focus
Sports
has
are
always
dumb.
been on gaming. So it's
It's a
that's where my sole
specialist.
focus has been.
He's a specialist, absolutely. I think it's awesome.
So,
It's awesome.
and Overwatch I've been obsessed with since it came out. So
Which is why we don't have a video game podcast, in case you're curious.
Right.
They have a video game podcast.
Right, they have it, not us, because
Right.
we don't.
Not,
but
we don't
when you
know
do
this.
cover video games, you do a very good job though.
Oh, well, thank you. We're big
Aw,
fans of
thanks.
faking it until we make it.
Yeah.
We're still in the fake it stage, but we believe that one day.
But you're damn good at it. So the other news that Brian put on here, we had a little thing from Rocket League.
Speaking of sports,
Yeah, speaking of sports, Rocket League, which is an insanely popular car racing game that plays soccer. If you haven't seen what it's like,
yeah,
Did you say car racing game that plays soccer?
Yeah.
you don't race. You play soccer with trucks.
yeah.
What?
There's
I
a
love
massive
everything
ball.
about this idea.
There's a massive ball, and you drive vehicles around. You hit them. You can make your car flip to kick the soccer. It's soccer, but you're
have
using vehicles.
A rocket-propelled car too, so you can go airborne.
Wow.
You can do the kick, the soccer
How,
flip kick.
how big is the car? Like, are we talking like a Ford F-150?
So the car is probably like to scale, but the ball is ginormous.
Oh, you're not driving the car while this is happening.
Yes.
You are, yeah. You're in
Yeah,
the car.
it's like third person. You're driving behind the vehicle, and
Yeah.
and you're in the ball.
Oh,
So-
this
so-
is a
so-
video game.
This is a video game, yeah.
I was
Oh,
so
yeah.
excited.
We're talking.
I was so.
Hey, Al, we're
Video game
We're on a
podcast.
video game podcast.
I'm sorry. I just got really. I thought I just found my new calling. I just.
That would be
You-
awesome.
You want to take your Suburban out
I'm
there?
devastated.
Or
I'm just
Tahoe,
gonna.
sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm just sitting
Tahoe.
quietly now. I'm
One
sorry.
day though, it'll happen.
Oh,
in
God,
real
I
life,
wish.
Right?
Oh yeah, I mean it's only a matter of time. With those self-driving cars, that'll happen. So what Rocket League is doing is they're adding those unlockable loot crates
Yeah.
that Overwatch has
Right.
when you level up, and a lot of other games are starting to implement
H1Z1 has like an unlockable crate.
these. Yeah, and
What does that mean? And
basically when you get these crates, you unlock them. They can unlock aesthetic items. The way you look, additional tires, colors.
Flags and
Flags,
toppers
just
and
stuff you
like
can
that.
put on your cars. So
Right.
they're making it more to where you can have a customized vehicle to make you look unique.
I know you guys are going to get really annoyed with me, but I think Pokemon Go should have that because I really need to change.
You want to put a hat on your Squirtle
not just my Pokemons, but like I want more options for my
your character?
For my character, like.
I think they'll add that.
That's coming.
yeah.
Yeah.
that's
This is
gotta be it.
this is stage
But
one.
yeah, also I'd like all my characters to be pink. That would be really cute. If all
I'd like to
Pokemons
get
be pink.
I'd like to get some kind of a back tat for Jigglypuff. Can we
the rose with the leaves.
exactly
like the doves
exactly
flying over.
That
Get,
would- that would-
I see Charmander with like the tribal around the arm.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
I would allow all of that.
But the loot crates, the things that are in the loot crates are already in the game.
Right.
But I just found that it was interesting that they're going that route now.
Right.
Just another way for you to drop some cash on
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
Otherwise, pay once and play a game.
Right.
whatever you
And
wanna
a
call
lot
it.
of them. I mean, you get a lot of them in the phone games. Like, hey, come play for free. But if you buy, spend money, you can
Right.
get these additional items. And it just seems to be the way to go now for all of these games. And that's where they get you. You get to a certain point, and it's like, all right, you did great to this point. Now you're going to wait 24 hours to build one thing and have it destroyed.
See, now I'm a big fan of the way the Xbox Live Arcade was doing it. I think they had the best model because there was a free-to-play demo. You got a taste of what was going on, and then you paid your price to get the game, and you were done.
Those piss me off.
Because I like the demo because I want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
And if I like your game, I'll pay $20, $30 for it. But the freemium stuff, and I know this is kind of our main topic here, but the freemium stuff, it annoys me
Yeah.
when I hit that ceiling.
Yep.
If you, it's just it starts scaling up and it gets a little ridiculous.
I prefer freemium because if I play a demo and I really like it and you got me hooked and now I have to pay the money to play the game, I'm going to be so mad. I've done it.
Why don't you just pay the money?
Well, I do pay money for some games, but like sometimes it's a lot of money, and I'm like, I don't want to. You piss me off, and I want a free game.
She makes a pretty strong point there. I literally can't argue with that.
So let's move on to our top five.
Their top
Right?
five.
Their
Yeah.
top five.
Their top. It's
'Cause-
really theirs.
Yeah, because they came up. I gave them the task of coming up with their favorite or best top 5 free to play games, and I think it's a pretty interesting list.
Well, I don't know if it's our favorite. I just think we came up with a list of.
No,
You don't admit that on air, though.
No. I think we did.
We spent 4 weeks researching. This is the best. I literally handed this to you when you walked in.
No. We did. I mean, I took this thing pretty seriously.
I did too. You guys asked me
It's hard.
what
It's
free
not
games
easy.
am I playing, but like the games I'm playing, probably no one's heard of, you know.
Yeah.
And also, I included a game that turns out wasn't free.
Right. The whole free part's the pastor. Oops. But no, I think we did. I think we took a look. We took a look around, and I think we come from a different perspective because we're not specialists, we're generalists.
Right,
You know.
right.
So coming from a bit of a higher perspective, we see the ones that may not have been. I mean, bluntly, probably weren't the best. But we see the ones that hit the pop culture, that hit the mainstream in a really big way. So I think that really influenced our list a bit. And I mean, it was. We made the last changes to it like 10 minutes before we recorded because we looked down and we're like, oh, this belongs in this list. How do we miss this and reorder?
That's the thing we do all the time, and it's hard to come up with a top 5 list. When you're done, you're just like, I didn't include that.
Right.
I mean, and
Yeah.
there's thousands upon thousands of games out there, and you haven't played all of them. But that's the cool thing about this is even if you share games that nobody's heard of, it's a way to get people to know about these games.
Absolutely. Well, that's one of the things I really like about your show because there's a lot of that stuff that for me as a guy who enjoys video games but hasn't never been able to delve as deep into them as you guys have.
Right.
I'm finding out about a whole bunch of cool stuff every time. A bunch of new games that I'll never get to go play because I have children and they rob me of all my time at home.
Those kids are just
shaking our
they're
fists,
the worst.
man.
Children.
They ruin it. Anyway,
So number 5 on the list, you got Farmville.
Which I was heavily obsessed with.
My wife was as well.
I would have friends purely from Farmville that would post things, and I would go and collect things like their horses and like special. Like I literally just wanted to breed horses. I put money into that game, so for me it was not free.
Can I tell you, this is the only game on the list that I've never played.
Yeah,
I included it because I felt like it was important, and it definitely made it there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hated the idea of Farmville.
I would spend hours rearranging my bales of hay because you could buy them in different colors. Not buy them for real money, but you could buy them with your coins from selling your crops. You could buy different color bales of hay, and people would make pictures out of them, like Mario or something like that. And so I would literally rearrange them and try to make it look like a 3-dimensional shape. And
So
for
what
hours.
what was the big appeal for you for
I have
Farmville?
no freaking clue because I cannot for the life of me recapture, Pokemon is getting close, but I cannot recapture that, that feeling I had when I was doing it. Like my mom and I would share, we would have each other's Facebook accounts because for a while, if you didn't harvest your crops on time, they would go bad.
Yeah.
And so my mom would be out to dinner with my dad and call me and be like, can you go in and harvest my grapes?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And
Team
I would
effort.
literally log into her account and harvest her crap. But then they started expanding, you could have an English countryside and blah, blah, blah. And the other thing too is it's a really graphics intense game. So if you don't have a top of the line computer, which I don't because I'm cheap, it's going to be really slow on your computer. And
Right.
so
I didn't realize it was
pissed me
graphically
off.
intense.
It is, yeah.
Especially when you start expanding out more. because
Especially when you're
can-
playing it at work. Which I was.
I mean, because you literally
Those grapes
start,
are going to harvest themselves.
you literally start from nothing, and you can just build out as
Yeah,
far as you want to go.
Exactly. You expand your farm, and there are limits. I think the limit was 40 by 40 was the biggest you could make your farm at the time. But yeah, I mean, there were all kinds of things. They would come out with species of horses, like unicorns, and I'm not even kidding. And that was just you would collect pigs and animals, and
Yeah.
they didn't do shit for you. Sorry, can I cuss on?
You're
okay.
okay.
They
You're
didn't
okay.
do crap for you, but they were cute, and you wanted them on your farm. It was a sense of pride, and you didn't do anything for them.
Again, this game blew my mind. This came out in 09.
Yeah.
And it was all Facebook based, and
Yep.
you get the request that people keep people.
Oh, you got
That's what
bombarded,
annoyed me.
Bombarded.
Yep.
Please
Yep.
play Facebook.
Well,
or
and
I haven't
Farmville.
heard from you in 10 years,
Yeah.
and then you know be a neighbor in the farm.
my husband, who was my boyfriend back then, was like, I don't understand how you can play a game that has no conclusion. There's no real goal other than to just have all the money and buy all the things and have all of the premium crap without paying for it. That was the goal. And yeah, I got sucked in.
Could your animals get sick or fires break out like a Sim City
No.
environmental?
No.
Nothing negative.
No,
Nothing negative?
there was no Oregon Trail
Just had to
dysentery.
break out the
Yeah.
shotgun and
So
No.
how much would you guess you spent on Farmville?
Ooh,
Round number.
$100 maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, I spent a lot.
Wow.
But I would also buy you could buy Zynga gift cards, and so for birthdays and crap, that's what me and my friends and my mom were giving each other is Zynga credits
Well, and 'cause
to buy crap.
Right, because Zynga, Farmville was their big one, but they tried desperately to have lightning strike twice. They had
Yeah, there's Castleville, there's Farmville 2, which is nothing like the original Farmville. There's
games that tack on the vills out. Just
Oh,
this
yeah.
game was popular. Just World of Warcraft. Just
Mineville.
world of this. And it's oh my god.
there
the
was some kind
original
of weird gangster one,
probably I don't know.
Mafiaville or whatever,
Yeah,
Mafia or something.
there was.
Mafiaville.
And then there was some kind of marijuana based one too. I remember.
Yeah, there were. I mean, but Farmville is nothing now. No one's on Farmville now.
Yeah.
Everyone is playing all these tons of other games, through Facebook and not through Facebook. But Farmville is just like, I don't know what they're doing now.
Hopefully they save their money.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, hopefully they can retire in style.
I'm sure there was a very small team that worked on that Facebook game, and they're probably living in luxury right now.
Hopefully.
And I want
hopefully.
you to keep in mind, I played Farmville for like more than a year, so that $100 wasn't just like I dropped it in one month. Like, I played that game for a very long time.
Well, and it's about finding the games that I'm not judging. I was surprised. I wouldn't have guessed it was that much, but I mean, I'm not trying to get judgy on that one. But,
Oh, just wait until you hear how much I spent on this next game that we're going to jump into. Your number 4, League of Legends.
Oh wow.
I nearly lost my house.
Free game,
actually,
mind you.
time out. Those are reversed. That's not our number 4. We changed that on you.
That's right, you did.
Yeah.
Candy Crush.
Candy Crush is our number
I spent
4.
no money on Candy Crush.
We could have still talked about League of Legends.
Well, we will, but I mean, to me, the order was important.
No,
The order is
the
important.
order is important.
The order of the top 5.
We had a switcheroo
Well,
right before we started.
So Candy Crush is another one of those games that everyone is connecting through Facebook and inviting people to play. I definitely played it for quite a while, but and I like puzzle style games. I just feel like with Candy Crush, I reached a certain level that it just felt impossible to beat, and I was like, meh, I'm done.
It's a time limit per level, right? You have to complete
Well, no. Well, some of them, yes, but more so you have a limited amount of lives
Or turns.
or turns to
Gotcha.
use. And typically I like those games from the beginning because they limit my gameplay, but then when they limit my gameplay, I'm like, you bastards.
it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at the beginning, I'm like, yeah, this game, I can't just sit here and play it for hours. And then I'm like, damn, I can't play it for hours.
See, and I hated Candy Crush. Candy Crush was to me the epitome of everything wrong with the freemium model.
Right.
Because it was intense. It was designed to have you forcibly get your friends and family involved.
Right.
Kind of shoved your hobby at other people, which I hate.
Farmville did that too.
It did, but I never played Farmville. I only played Candy Crush. This is true because I was paid to.
Yeah.
I was doing
What?
I was doing the Extra Life, the 24-hour gaming marathon, and you at the time we did live streaming for the whole thing, and I said you could pay me money, you could pay us money during the event. Well, not us, obviously, I went to the charity, but if you paid money, I would do whatever you wanted. So me and my buddy are playing this, and we had a copy of Disney Princess Candyland, and for $25, we would stop whatever we were doing, break out Disney Princess Candyland, and play a game. And I won, by the way, Jasmine for life.
Nice.
Nice.
But my brother knew that I hated Candy Crush. I hated everything about it. I never wanted to play it. So he said, "Okay, I'm giving you." I think he gave me like $50.
Wow.
He put down $50 and he says, "Play Candy Crush right now." And I'm like, "You." So I did, and it was just like Bejeweled.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was just like 1,000 other games I played, except this one had a little bit more, more gimmicky interface, and I had to go annoy my friends for it. I just,
Yeah,
but it was huge, and I think that's why it's number 4 there. I mean, I may not have liked it, but a whole lot of other folks did.
Yeah.
and they still like it. Like, it's still really popular. Unlike Farmville, which came out 3 years 3 years earlier, and did not have quite the shelf life. Candy Crush is still crushing it. And they've made Candy Crush Pop Saga and all these other ones that they've got Pet Saga. All those games they're still popular. Like, I still get Facebook requests for all these games because why can't you turn them off on your mobile phone? Like, you tell Facebook, I don't want these notifications, and unless you do it from a website.
You just unfriend them. Anytime somebody sends a request, you unfriend them.
These are my family members. Can't do that.
Well,
You'd be surprised how many I've unfriended.
so yeah, that was Candy Crush. Can we move on now? Because I really.
Yeah, we could. I don't know why you're looking at me. I'm not the host of this show.
Well, you were very involved in it. I wanted to make
and
sure you got
you were
everything.
you were speaking intelligently on
Yeah.
it. I didn't want to stop that.
Very
Well-
eloquent.
What if they added the guy from Wreck-It Ralph?
Yes!
King Candy?
Rocket. Oh, King
Alan
Candy.
Tudyk?
Oh yeah,
And just had him, harass you the whole time, like, ooh.
that was really good.
That was
That's
spot
bad.
on.
No,
that
don't
was
say that. No.
Spot on.
No.
Actually, and I'll be honest, Alan Tudyk, I love that. Whatever he's doing, I'm like, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
If Alan Tudyk had been like, why aren't you playing Candy Crush? I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm playing it right now.
He's too busy working on the Knight's Tale sequel.
Nights? Oh,
I don't think that's gonna.
Yeah.
That's
know.
awkward.
Yeah.
I would have loved it though.
Yeah, me too.
It was an amazing movie.
It was really good.
I'm sad now.
I just realized he was in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Here's the thing. I'm going to put this out there, and I know this is not a popular thing. Heath Ledger, least interesting part of that whole movie.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
for sure.
by
No,
far,
absolutely.
by far.
He was
Who's-
just hot.
who's
Chaucer, And,
yeah. Who played Chaucer? The
Vision, the
British,
Vision.
Yeah, the
It's
British
Paul
guy.
Paul
Bettany.
Thank
Paul
you.
Bettany.
The Vision.
The one married to Jennifer Connelly, that lucky bastard.
Okay.
How did he make that happen?
I
See,
have
how do you
no
know all that?
idea.
You're so impressed with him with the video game knowledge. I'm like,
Yeah.
how the hell do you know who's wearing?
You know,
Okay, so
I can
back
barely
to,
remember my wife. Not anybody else.
back to Candy Crush. So for me, Candy Crush, like it developed like this second like universe, and you had separate lives for it, and it was like the nighttime one, and like it's an owl, and you have to keep things balanced, and so it's like kind of a different puzzle, but like I think my problem is the more complicated the game gets, the less interested I am because I can't stay focused on the goal, which the
Right.
goal is to get the levels, not all this weird. Like if you give me a quest and it's a quest-based game, that's one thing because I can focus on the quest and then get back to the regular game. But this was different. It was like you have lives here and you have lives here, so just do whatever you want.
right.
I didn't really,
Yeah. Okay.
That was the other thing about Farmville, though, is they did add in quests, and I think that is what drove so many people. Because, like, yeah, you're just farming wheat and grapes and crap, but, like, you get a really cool, like,
Donkey horse.
no, like, you get, like a hot air balloon or something, and then you put it on your farm for, like, 5 minutes, and then you put it in your storage and never look at it
yeah.
again.
Nice.
But you earned that. It's again, it's like a sense of pride.
Earned,
So-
I think, is the
it went
wrong
away,
word.
too. Yeah.
I earned this.
Well, sometimes I did. Sometimes they were impossible, and you paid money. So,
nice. Speaking of paying money,
All right.
all right. So
All
now
right.
to yours.
we're going to empty our wallets into the.
I've
your
never
number
played
3,
this one.
League of Legends.
This is the only one I have not played on the list.
This game is the daily kick in the nuts for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You still
Because-
play it?
No, not anymore.
Oh, okay.
I can't.
You know, you
go-
can, if you want, you can get with Danielle, and she'll do it for you.
My,
I'll kick you in the nuts.
my wife will leave me if I go back to League of Legends because the problem with these games is I get so into them, but I don't want to wait to save up what I need to buy these characters. I was like, oh, that character looks fun. I'm buying it. I'd literally spent over $300 on League of Legends in a 6-month period. When I was out on disability on my back, I was home playing it, and I just said, "Yep, I don't want to wait. I want to play this character. This character sucks. All right, just spend $10 on it. That character looks fun. Let's try it out."
$10 on one character?
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty much the yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes they go on sale, and that's where they get you. Especially
Yeah.
in Heroes of the Storm. For the Blizzard version where they had all these weekly sales. I was like, oh, $5 and $5 for this skin? Just take my credit card.
So
I'm so bad with those kinds of games.
Wow.
what is League of Legends for people like me who
It's a-
which I'm sure you don't have any listeners like me. Like all of your listeners know exactly what you're talking about and they're like,
Not-
"Oh my
not-
god, this
not
Except for
chick
the ones
got
that mistake
her
us
off."
for a religious podcast.
That's true. I do people who
What?
have followed us think
Oh
because,
my God! I never thought about the name Cast Revive. It does sound like.
yeah,
A little bit.
I've had people, like you don't look like you're a game. Not that you can tell who gamers are, but like, I got some women who are in like their mid to late 70s. So I was just like, and they have like, picture of the cross or something on it. I'm just like, yeah.
You are
On
healed.
Facebook. He means on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
I figured.
Yeah.
Not like in person.
Not in person. People come up. Let me hear the
Well, listen. I mean,
You're Cash Revive. Can you heal me? No, but I can give you a copy of Duck Hunt.
This is. So League of Legends.
Yes,
Right.
it's a MOBA. It's a massive online battle arena where basically you get a team together and the object is to destroy the other team's. What next? Is it Nexus?
It's
In
a
League of
Nexus.
Legends.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got this is it combines a little bit of the tower defense, which is the one where you got the little you got little minions that spawn and walk in a straight line, lemming style, until they and then they kind of fight or hit the towers that try to kill them. It's that, and there's still that going on, but you do that, and then there's four. You have five players in each team that are supporting the little guys that are walking. And you guys are working together to
get the little dudes
to
up
get
to
the little dudes to the other side, while they've got the other team is doing the exact same thing coming at you.
Yeah.
So is this real time that you're playing with other people?
Yep.
Yeah.
real time. Yep.
So is it like turn based or
Nope, it's all.
so what if like someone that's on your team like goes out of signal or
That happens.
something?
They go linked dead and you're down a player.
And that sucks.
Or they'll
Yeah.
wander off on their own, get killed, and then you're down. So
That also
Yeah.
sucks.
there are different characters that have different roles. There's a class called a jungler, where it doesn't focus on hunting with the team. They'll go through and take out these experience camps to gain level ups. And then if there's a little skirmish going on, he'll come out of the jungle and help kill the battle and then go back in and farm experience. So he's doing like his own thing. He's like the little assassin.
Like a jaguar.
Yeah, it's really nice. I've
Interesting.
never go with the Jaguar, but there's 80 carries, there's AP, it got so insane that like it's a difficult game.
There
I'm
was-
really bad at it, but I
and
spent so much money on it trying to get good. I really did. I was really trying to do really well, and
You can't buy skill, Matt.
no, you can't.
Actually, you can. They, they do. But the skill points is actually one of the currencies of the game. It's really, literally. No, I actually. So for those, I do. I'm a big fan of this one and Overwatch. League of Legends was a little too serious for me. They just take a little. But I've always loved the support characters, and there was the one in League of Legends who drops the turrets.
Yeah, Heimerdinger.
Heimerdinger. Loved him.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved him. I had such a blast playing this game, and it was interesting because you really, and this is the thing that when the freemium does it right, and this game and then another one on our list does it, I think, really well. You never have to spend a dime.
Right.
You can play and keep up with the best players out there. You could be one of the best players in the world and have never spent one red dime on the game.
Yeah.
And now, if you want to, there's certainly the opportunities there. And I don't mind at that point when I went out and I bought a couple. I think I probably spent $20, $30 in League of Legends. I bought one of the little packs that had like 4 or 5 guys in it or whatever it was. And then they had every, I guess, week or two, they would cycle through a bunch of players that you could play for free.
For free, right.
Yep.
And so between those two things, I got to play a lot of the different characters. I felt like I got to experience what was going on, and I enjoyed it. I was never terribly great at it, but I enjoyed it, you know? And I think that was a great thing about League of Legends, and I think it's one of the reasons that gives it so much staying power. Because while there is a learning curve, the learning curve isn't terribly steep, you know? I wouldn't suggest League of Legends to somebody who's never played a video game before.
Yeah,
Right.
But if you've played around a couple of these games, if you know what a tower defense is, chances are you could pick up on what's going on here without too much of an issue.
The hardest thing I think about League of Legends is not, besides learning your character, is you have to build your gear set, and the gear is constantly changing. So you can't just go out there and use your abilities. Every time you get a level up and get money, you have to go back to your base, buy armor, weapons, stuff that make your character more powerful, and then you buy. And if you want to buy this powerful weapon, you have to follow this certain skill tree of weapons, and then it evolves into like the Triforce or whatever. You know, it was nuts. It was so much to follow and remember. And if you didn't have the right build, you basically had to build these cookie cutter specs. Otherwise, you were useless.
Well, and I think this is where Overwatch takes League of Legends. Because Overwatch combines a lot of the best parts of League of Legends, but simplifies and gets rid of a lot of that extra stuff so that you can just focus on showing up and playing the game.
Yeah.
And I know there's people out there who want that complexity, who want that customization.
Sure. Oh, yeah,
and
absolutely.
that's completely fine. I'm not taking away from it. But I think from an accessibility standpoint, I think that's where League of Legends kind of gets kind of outshined a little bit.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely. You should check it out. You should play it for one day. It's free
I
to
don't
download.
know. It sounds like it's like I have a little bit of ADHD, and so it sounds like it might be a little overstimulating for me, like if there's a lot going on.
Can you do a mouse keyboard combination?
I've never done that. In a
W,
game.
A, S, and D on the left
I've
hand.
never played a game that did that.
Okay, we're not going to start you on League of Legends. That's not a fair place to. That is not a place to start.
But
Not responsible of us.
so Heimerdinger was your go-to. He was. Your main guy?
There was a couple of them. Heimerdinger was one I remembered because I loved just the support. I loved the turrets. I loved everything about the way. I loved Torbjorn. Torbjorn, same thing. And what's her face? The other support character that does that.
Symmetra.
There we go. I love them too. I think that's kind of a cool and funky thing to do.
Yeah.
Right.
I actually picked it up. Do you guys ever play? You remember a game for Xbox called Monday Night Combat?
Nope.
No.
Oh, it was
Monday Night Combat.
Was it for Xbox 360?
Xbox 360. I apologize.
Yeah, I didn't get into Xbox until one.
Yeah.
So.
It's okay. There was a character in there that was. I mean, this was another very much League of Legends style game, and you had 4 different classes, and one of them built extra turrets as it went. And that's where I started. I got exposed to that the first time and loved it.
Nice.
I think it's such a cool mechanic for me. So
That is cool.
Anyways, League of Legends.
Pantheon for life.
Pantheon?
Yep. He's my man, Spartan, baby.
I thought you liked the pirate guy.
I like Gangplank too, but
Yeah.
dude, I could literally leap across the screen and stab people.
Gangplank is a badass name.
You know, what's the guy that you play? Hogwarts? Fat guy with the...
Roadhog.
Oh, Roadhog.
Roadhog.
Yeah.
Hogwarts.
I was like, what? Harry Potter? I
I'm
perked up
here.
a bit. What? Harry Potter?
I was just going to say Thresh from League of Legends. That was who I played.
Yeah.
He had the hook.
Oh
He
yeah,
would pull
yeah.
people in,
Oh,
so.
and you can definitely see between Overwatch and League of Legends, there's a little bit of a
Overlay.
just
Oh,
a
yeah.
little, just a smidge, you know.
Thresh was probably of the support characters was definitely my favorite.
He's a creepy ghost jailer.
Drop in the box, and he's like, drop in the box, and everybody just kind of converges and he pops their ultimates.
I want that
Oh,
soundbite from Seven.
Get goosebumps.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? Oh goodness! I feel like if we spend any more time on League of Legends, I'm gonna have to start putting money on the table.
Let's not feed that habit.
It's not.
Let's not. Let's go to number 2.
Number 2 There's another game that could potentially empty a lot of wallets quickly, especially for Miss Danielle.
No,
Pokemon Go.
I think I'm going to be good. I think I'm not going to spend money because I have learned my lesson from Farmville. I actually, like, other than buying a game, I don't typically spend money in games anymore at all. Unless it's like, 99 cents for something crazy ridiculous, I'll do that. But typically I don't. I'm really angry that there are no Pokemon at my house and my job. I'm considering.
Can I tell you how many times I've heard her say that?
I'm considering a career change and also moving.
That's hilarious.
Because I need all of the Pokemon.
So I think this one I know I struggled a lot. I struggled a little bit with the idea of putting it all the way up at number 2. Because the game has only been out for like a week or so.
And it's already like the best game ever.
Well, see, but it's the thing too. There's a lot of people who said that about Candy Crush and said that about Farmville, and now nobody.
People still play Candy Crush.
Sure they do. I'm sure there's people who play Farmville too, but I don't know any. You know what I mean? Like it's just
there's like 4 people in the world that play it.
like there's 4 guys and they just have taken over all of the other farms and have. I don't know.
Are they currently on my farm? Oh my gosh!
Probably.
I should check that
Your
out.
poor horse is just gone. All those beautiful horses, they're slaughtered for their meat. Their virtual pixelated meat.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
sad.
yeah, it is. That's what you did.
I'm
It's
gonna
your
have
fault.
nightmares.
No, but I think Pokemon Go represents such a huge shift in pop culture, geek culture, video games. I think we will see the impacts of Pokemon Go way into the future. I mean, years from now.
Yeah.
I think it had such an impact on it.
It's revolutionary.
And this crazy thing too is because part of it is because it's Pokemon. Because we've had augmented reality games,
right?
We talked about this. We've talked about this on For Geek's Sake. The whole game itself is basically a really professional reskin of an older game.
Yep.
But
that not as many people were playing.
Of course not,
because it wasn't as popular. It wasn't branded.
Exactly. So I think that while Pokemon Go may not necessarily be the first of its kind specifically, it's the first to do it like that.
Yeah.
And it just changes the game.
Changes everything.
And I think it's amazing, too, because what it shows is that this model of a legitimately free game, and by the way, you can buy stuff, but you don't have to.
Right.
Like, we almost had Clash of Clans on here.
Say that 5 times fast.
No. And I really didn't want it on there because I don't like Clash of Clans. I don't like what Clash of Clans does. I think it does. I think it copies the Candy Crush model in the worst possible way. Whereas Pokemon Go and League of Legends both show you, look, you can have an amazing, high-quality game. You can make tons of money on it, and I got no issues with them making their money on it. I have no issues paying money for it. I want to support. I'm going to go buy some crap on Pokemon Go, even though Nintendo clearly doesn't need the damn money.
No, yeah.
But I want to support that. I think that's an amazing part of the game.
A game that allows you to be successful without you forcing you to hit that wall, and then you're like, if I want to keep playing a game I enjoy, I have to, it should make it to where, like you said, I'm enjoying this game enough to where I want to throw some money at it, not because I'm forced to.
Exactly.
Right, but it doesn't, you can still get some of the things that they offer you for money by going to Pokestops, but you're just going to get more if you pay the money. So it's not like you
and you get to pick what it is you want.
Yeah, it's not like you absolutely require to spend money. Like Al said, you can have a fantastic experience and not drop a dime for probably as long as the game is out. But if you want to, here's some add-ons. Here's something that'll make it easier if you want it to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's awesome.
No, I do. And any game that takes you outside and makes you explore, it's a Pokemon version of geocaching.
I've been thinking about Pokemon
exactly
and geocaching a lot lately, and the overlap between those. I think yes, you're absolutely correct. And that's geocaching is. I mean, not a video game, obviously, but it's just a phenomenal way to get out and go see the world.
Yeah.
I want to say something real quick. My husband and I tried geocaching a few times, and we would go to the spots that the site would tell you to go to, and there would be nothing there.
Yeah.
And like someone took it and didn't report that they took it. So whoever had left something there, you just assume that happened to us 3 or 4 times. That's super frustrating. But because the cache on Pokemon Go is not real.
It's digital.
It's digital,
Yeah.
and it'll be there if you go to the right places. That's rewarding. You're
Every
out
time.
there. Yeah, you're out there, and you see the green leaves. You walk towards the green leaves, and there's going to be a character.
Yeah.
It's very rewarding, and I'm totally doing it at Disney this weekend.
Yeah, and actually,
I can't imagine the Pokestops that are going to be at Disney. I imagine it's going to be insane.
every 10, 15 feet, just stand in one spot and just
No,
keep doing it.
You're gonna see like nobody
have-
walking. Everybody's just
That's true. You're gonna be,
swiping
dude.
stuff.
I'm telling you what, Space Mountain's line's gonna be like 5 minutes, man. You're just like,
No, there's Pokestops on rides.
you are gonna lose some damn phones.
Yeah.
There's on Spaceship Earth when you when you go to the 70s lady and the big computers, there's a Pokestop there, and then there's a Pokestop on like the African
What's your
Safari.
favorite ride?
It's my favorite ride, and it's my daughter's favorite ride too.
Yeah,
So we'll
there's
have the Pokestop
there's
there.
there's Pokestops everywhere, and like some Pokestops you can't get to because they're like backstage and stuff. Like
I was hearing that was an issue too. That
Yeah.
Disney's like, you can't come back here.
just because
Stop
there's
it.
a Pokestop, yeah. But
Police stations had the same issue, which I thought was hilarious.
That's hilarious.
In the White House, a Poke Gym? I think
That would
the
be
White House is
so
a Pokemon
funny.
gym.
better be Team Valor for life.
Actually, I want Instinct
I'm
on that one,
team-
just so it'll be neither red nor blue. Just go yellow.
I'm blue.
I haven't picked a color yet. I haven't picked a team yet.
Are you level 5 yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You still haven't picked a team?
Nope.
Have
I'm
you
an-
just not gone to a gym?
I'm an independent operator.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't even had a chance to battle anyone because they're always like the lowest Pokemon guarding the gym is always like a 500, and I'm so not even close
I'm
yet.
like a 3.
Yeah.
I'm like not even a 200 yet. Like my Pokemons are all under 200, and like you can scroll through and see other Pokemons, but like they're all more like it's just ridiculous.
Well,
but
and I think but to the thing that makes
Yeah.
Pokemon Go so important here and so influential on what's going forward. The reason why I would put it at a number 2 is I think the model here shows that there's a lot that can be done with augmented reality, with virtual reality,
Yeah.
and that drives human interaction. You know, there's a lot of hate being slammed at it because everybody's out and about in these beautiful spots, but everybody's staring at their screens. And while that's true to a certain point, like I was walking around last night, I had a call that I had to take, a little business call. So I was walking my neighborhood trying to hatch an egg while I was doing it, and as I'm walking past, this guy, one of my neighbors who I've never spoken to before, I'm on the phone. He comes running down as I'm staring at my screen. He's like, "Hey, battle me right now," which you can't really do, but that's not really the point. But I started this conversation with this guy because he saw that I was playing Pokemon Go, and he came down and so we started talking, which is embarrassing because I was on the call. But still, I muted and we had a conversation. It was really kind of cool. So I think there's an opportunity there to really start to make friends. I mean, you saw the thing in Altamont Springs that happened over the weekend. Like, there's some really great stuff going on.
Really great. It's a pretty good positive experience for a lot of these people, and especially now in Orlando when we need that kind of stuff more than ever. You know, people getting
Absolutely.
together.
Damn
so-
right. Damn
so
right.
it's
Just
really
don't
nice.
do it while driving, dumbasses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't do that.
yeah, that's why you get someone in your car to do it for you.
I'm guilty of it, but I said I was like, I was having that 417 and I caught something.
Did you really? That's
I-
not.
I was right
don't
by Lake
do
Jessup, and I was
any
done.
of
I was
that.
like, that probably was not the safest thing
No,
for me to do.
no, it was
so I
not.
was like, I'm not doing that again.
I know. I will see where the Pokestops are, and I will like. I'll drive. I'll pull over.
You guys, I don't
Pokestop?
even do that.
I'll pull off the road. I mean, I'm not going to do well. Oh, there was one that was in the RDV Sportsplex in the ice den, and I wasn't going to go in, but I was on my lunch break, so I pulled my car around to the back of the loading dock area, pulled up real close to the building, and managed to catch a Pokestop from my car.
That's awesome.
Isn't the purpose not
That's
to
awesome.
drive around, but to walk around?
When you're built like this, you drive around.
Here, here. Driving for the win.
So yeah, Pokemon.
Let's move on to number 1. I would say probably a game everybody knows. Even if you haven't played it, people know this game, Angry Birds.
Yep.
It's the OG, man.
It is.
And this was the thing.
Obsessed with this game.
Well, and I think a lot of people may put Pokemon Go as their number 1. If somebody, I mean, I and you could definitely make that argument. But to me, Pokemon Go hasn't proved. I mean, it's been out a week. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Angry Birds.
Not even a week.
Right. I mean, Angry Birds has been around since what, 09? So I mean, you've already got 7 years in this game.
Yep.
And it is still going strong. I mean, it just had its first feature-length movie drop.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's the complete opposite to Pokemon Go to me because Angry Birds started just as a little tiny video game.
Yep.
Now it's doing crossovers with Star Wars. It's got its own movie. Pokemon, you know, it did start as a game in the beginning, but it entered the
But it started as a
free-to-play
Nintendo
forum.
game. Yeah, it's not
You
quite
know,
the same.
already
it's
established.
bringing that,
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah, I mean,
that crown with it.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
Angry Birds literally built an empire off like a $2 game.
Exactly.
You know, you think about where they came from, and it's just it was.
You mean a free game?
What did I say?
Because it's free?
$2.
I thought it was. I thought.
Well, you can.
The original
well,
Angry
Oh,
Birds
I'm
was
thinking
free.
one of the new ones. You
No,
have
no.
to pay
Well,
for.
actually, and I love this is one of the things I love about Angry Birds. Is one thing I was going to mention is you get to pick. You can do the free version and have the ads in it, or you
Yeah.
can pay $2 and not get the ads.
That's
to
the
me,
only difference.
Exactly. And to me, I will always pay the $2 and get now there's also in-app purchases that you can do and
Yeah.
stuff they'd love
Except
for you
words
to
with
purchase.
friends. I'll take the ads.
But I don't mind paying. I mean, again, it's another one for me. I'll pay your $2. I will happily
Right.
give you $2. I don't want to deal with your ads, number one.
Yeah.
And number two,
Technically, they're
take the
making
money.
more money by putting those ads out, anyways.
Probably.
I mean, because if you click through, even if you do it by accident, they make money.
That's true.
And trust me, I have clicked things many times trying to hit a damn X.
I hate it. That part
gets
drives.
smaller and smaller.
It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Or you're going to click it and it
I've
moves up
started-
a little bit so you hit the end.
I've-
Got you.
I started to
senses
just
your
hit the
finger.
back button like 17 times, like, this is going to work. With Angry Birds, though, like, they've branched out not even just from, like, the original app. I've played Angry Birds Epic. I've played Angry Birds RPG, like... And I didn't really care for the original because I don't like physics-based, I don't want to think.
She's not sciencey.
I'm not sciencey, but I've tried like cut the rope and stuff. I'm not good at like the physics
Right.
type games. I am like in the earlier levels, but they actually like started that whole like 3-star trend, like a 3-star level.
Oh yeah, you
Get the
com-
3 stars.
Get that completionist in you going, huh?
Yeah, and but when they came out with like Epic and RPG, like they're just using the characters, but on like a different game. So I liked it. What?
I actually went the other way. When they dropped Angry Birds Space, and the Angry Birds Space, they actually got with NASA scientists to discuss the way that the orbits and the gravity would impact, and what happens if you have two bodies that each have their own gravitational pull, and how that works. And so the physics on it, they spent a lot of time doing right.
That's cool.
And
That is great.
that to me was
It's way too sciencey for me.
it was such a phenomenal game. I enjoy the physics of it. I enjoy kind of thinking through it. But it was so much fun. It still is a lot of fun. I mean, it's one of when I go through and I get a new phone, you have like, according to Google Apps, I have all of the apps. I don't know, just 1,000 apps or however stupid many apps I got.
Right.
And I go every time you get a new phone, how this is. You're not taking all those bad boys. Like a lot
Right.
of you guys are not making the cut this time. Sorry.
Yep.
But Angry Birds always makes the cut. It's always one of the first ones I download because it is a game that I always know I can go back to. I always enjoy playing it. And once Rovio, the developers, finally dropped the ability to keep your damn score from your place from one device to another,
Okay.
that was what I was. That was it. I was set. Like
That's awesome.
I think I've enjoyed the game. I think it's fantastic. They've done some brilliant marketing on it.
Yeah, just the branding itself, like you can have a kid's Angry Birds party. You can have Angry Birds plushies. You
And
can
remember
decorate
Rio?
your bedroom.
Yeah.
The movie Rio, they
Yeah.
had the Angry Birds. I mean, the Angry Birds
The
sign was
Angry
like
Birds Rio.
right there. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know whose idea that was, but good on you guys. That was a great
Yeah,
move.
they've honestly taken it Disney level with the marketing. Like
Yeah.
they're mastering it right now.
Absolutely. So that was us.
It's still popular. I still see kids' birthday parties that are Angry Birds.
Yeah.
So
I kind of want to play it now.
It's a lot of fun.
I only one I played lately was the racing one on the Apple TV. You can race the Angry Birds cars or something, Angry Birds Go or something.
Angry Birds.
see, that's
I
what
play
I'm
with
talking
my
about.
Angry Birds
They've-
Go.
Angry Birds
They've
Go.
literally taken all of the other game types and just branded it Angry Birds.
This is like Margaritaville of the app
yes,
market. Like,
yes.
they took one thing that a bunch of people liked and said, "Watch this."
Oh, did you want it here? Here you go. No, it's like the '80s, like New Kids on the Block and Lisa Frank. It's everywhere.
Lisa Frank.
Lisa Frank and
Wow.
New Kids on the Block.
It's legit.
No, that was well done. That was a good pull. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give you points for Lisa Frank. That was nice.
It's not your show.
I'll give you points.
Okay,
It-
thank
it,
you.
It transfers over. So
You know what though?
Okay.
You know what? Not that attitude. When you get back to my show, I'm taking points. The way that
you
works.
just lost 10.
There it is.
Good job.
Damn,
Yeah.
I suck at this.
Well, overall, that was a good list.
Thank you.
That was a very good list. You,
Um,
you hit on a lot of important games that were very popular and really helped, I think, shape of the future of how free-to-play games can operate and stuff like that.
Oh, I'm
So-
sure your listeners will tell me that I'm an idiot, don't know what I'm talking about, so they can feel free to do that too.
The thing is, though, that's the best thing about these top five that we tell people is that it's this is our list. Your list will be completely different, but
It'll be wrong, but yeah, it'll be your list.
But we want people to write it and tell us what their list would be and why. Do you agree with the list? Do you not? I don't mind being insulted. It happens every day of my life. So
Yeah.
why not do
Yeah,
it? The internet is known for this kind of stuff. So we embrace it, right, Brian?
I'm very weak in that department. I take criticism very personally.
So that's pretty much going to be it. Wow, my voice just seems to be cracking later again.
Are you going through puberty again?
Yeah, I might be.
The guy in The Simpsons,
By
man.
the end of the night, I'll be talking like this.
I don't know, Mr. Simpson.
So if you want to follow us on our social media, you can find us on Facebook. Shoot us an email at cashrevive@gmail.com. Twitter at cashrevive. YouTube. Yeah, that's YouTube. We have stuff.
Do we, though?
What's your YouTube?
It's just look up Cash
Cast
Revive.
Revive.
We have all our
Cast Revive.
season 1 stuff on there, but we want to do like other videos, but we just haven't found the right format to do.
Speed racing. Put up your speed racing videos.
It's getting to that point. It's getting to that point. It's speed running.
speed running. I'm the worst.
Go speed
But
racer,
I will
go.
touch on SGDQ 2016 raised almost $1.3 million for Doctors Without Borders.
Perfect.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Amazing,
Cool.
amazing.
Very nice.
Okay, did you see what's Stephen Colbert? He's on one of the.
Yep, Mitch Flower Power.
Yes!
Yep. Yeah, he's a
And he
Super
didn't
Mario
even
3.
win. The Hot Pocket did.
It's you can't compare eating a Hot Pocket to
Yeah,
running
because he
Super
totally
Mario.
burned the crap out of his mouth by eating it that fast.
But you can also tell by watching it that he was holding back. I could literally eat a Hot Pocket in 10 seconds. I mean, but it was really
Yeah,
interesting
if you
to
wanted
see.
to burn all the skin in
and
your
it really
mouth off.
it shined the light on the speedrunning community and
Yeah.
SGDQ that's coming in. It was
awesome.
it was a good time. So I'm really happy to see that.
So
stuff.
raised over $1 million for Doctors Without Borders. That's
Almost
fantastic.
1.3. It's
Wow.
the highest.
That's amazing.
Every
great.
time they do an event, they raise more and more. The last one was 1.2, so they raised.
I mean, Pokemon made that today, but I mean, it's great for them.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just great that a lot of people don't know about speedrunning. They're like, why would you do that? And it's a great positive environment, and it showcases a lot of talent. I mean, there's a lot of hours these guys put in this stuff.
Well, I'll be honest, watching it on Stephen Colbert, that was the first time I actually watched someone do it. And I was, because, we've talked to it when you came on our
Yeah.
show. The first time we talked about it, and it still didn't really, kind of hit me until I watched him do it. And I was like, oh, yeah, there's, that one thing that you can do to, jump 5 levels or whatever.
Yeah.
And,
It's crazy.
okay, now I get it. You're just trying to find all the tweaks in the game to, do it as quickly as possible. It's totally awesome.
It is. And soon you'll get to see me run Aladdin, hopefully.
I
AGDQ
love it.
2017.
Absolutely,
I love
man.
it.
If not, I'm going to show up. You'll always see me in the crowd.
Hey.
I'll be the guy twirling my shirt over.
Well-
Let's go, guys.
Just take a selfie.
I was going to say we'll bring the banner, but you know what? Never mind. We're gonna-
I'll just wrap myself in the banner.
Just take a selfie to prove you were there. That's all.
But the most important way to reach us
Hey,
is on geekstreetstation.com.
there you go.
You can also find these lovely people from For Geek's Sake on there as well.
Yeah.
Be sure to follow them and
Oh,
all their
us.
loveliness.
Yeah, that's us.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's you guys.
Yeah,
You're-
we're also on geekstreetstation.com.
your brilliantness. That's why you're first on the list because you are the best.
Actually,
you are
Thirsty
the
Gamers
pillar.
is first.
What?
Yeah. You didn't see that?
It's alphabetical.
In reverse?
So, is there anything you want to share about your show? Anything you got coming up that you guys want to promote or anything? Or
We've got our LARPing session coming
Yeah,
up.
we're going LARPing on July 23rd, and I am way more excited than I should be.
Oh,
I
we're-
was super nervous when Al first was like, by the way, we're going LARPing. But then when we met the people that came on our show, oh my God, I cannot wait.
So if you want to, everybody's invited to join us. They're actually making a bunch of extra weapons.
Are they really?
Oh yeah, they're making because we're bringing a crowd.
Oh, okay.
So we want to encourage anybody who's listening. You can get the details on our show. We're going to try to get an article up on the main website there. But it'll be Saturday, July 23rd, 1 p.m. Redbug Lake Park in Castleberry, Florida. We will be with the Nodrama.
From Amtsguard.
From Amtsguard. We'll be there. We'll be LARPing. It'll be fun. Also,
we'll
we've
be
got I didn't get the date. We're going to be doing The Killing Joke, which is the Batman comic of the same name. They've done an animated version of it with all of the folks from Batman the Animated Series, including Mark Hamill as the Joker.
Perfect.
Oh, it's going to be so great. So Winter Park Village, we're going. We're trying to get something official set up, but if we can't, we're going to be there anyway.
Nice.
So I think the 7 or 7:30 show, whatever date that is, fathomevents.com, The Killing Joke, Winter Park Village. That's the other place where you can find us.
Love it. Well, thank you guys both very much for coming on. It was a pleasure.
Oh,
Thank you for having
And you invited us
Thanks,
into your
guys.
studio as well. We got a chance to go out and
Yeah.
catch Pokemon in a different part of the
Some
of
of you
the
did.
world.
One
so-
of these days, I want to be on your show without that guy
no problem.
because I.
You Dr. Mario that bad boy up, man. You go.
Yeah.
We'll do a whole
I-
do a whole episode on those types of games.
No, we could just do a whole episode on Dr.
Or
Mario.
we could do a whole episode on Dr.
as
Mario.
long as you play the soundtrack.
No problem. I have it. So,
But you hate. Why do you have the soundtrack if you hate
I
the
have
game?
the soundtrack to everything.
Okay.
It is kind of what he
Almost
does.
everything.
It's kind of his
I
bag.
enjoy collecting music, just like you enjoy collecting Pokemon.
Yes, yes,
you
I
see?
do. Very much.
So, Brian, anything you want to say before we cheese and rice it out of here?
I got nothing, man.
You got nothing tonight. You look pretty tired.
I am just gonna sleep in my car as it drives me home.
All right, well, let's go cradle each other. And
That's wait. That's a bad idea. That's a
What?
really bad. You should
Don't
really
they,
stay.
they just drive for you now, right?
he's got a Tesla now, so he's okay.
No, I don't. It's a.
He's just going to put a brick on the accelerator and just go.
It'll drive itself.
Autopilot someone.
Well, we'll see if Brian survives and joins us next week. So, thank you all for listening.